Happiness at 60 does not come from how much money you have or how successful your children are. It comes from the things you are willing to let go of. You might be living in a beautiful house surrounded by children and grandchildren with a comfortable amount of savings in the bank. But still, each day feels heavy, exhausting, and lonely. That is because true happiness in old age does not lie in what you have, but in the things you are still holding on to, even though you should have let them go a long time ago. 60. It is supposed to be the age when you get to slow down, rest, and truly enjoy life. But for many people, it is still filled with worries, worrying about their children, feeling sad about the past, holding on to old grudges, and regretting things they have lost. And so, each passing day becomes a little darker. But do you know something? The moment you find the courage to let go, you open the door to a peaceful, free, and genuinely joyful chapter of your life. In today's video, I am going to share with you 6 important things that if you stop worrying about them now, your life will completely change. You will not need to try too hard, and you definitely do not need to change the whole world. All it takes is shifting the way you see things and releasing the invisible burdens you carry. Each one of these will be a small step toward a deeper sense of inner peace. Before we get started, leave a comment below as a way of making a promise to yourself. Something like, "I am ready to let go and live more lightly," or anything else that you feel called to share. And do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on inspiring messages about health, mental well-being, and living fully in your golden years. We all deserve to live joyfully, not just because we live long, but because we know how to live right. And now let us step into the most important part. 6 seemingly small things that quietly make your later years feel heavier if you do not learn to let them go at the right time. Number 1. Stop worrying about what you have gained or lost. There was once an elderly man who shared this. "When I look back on my life, all I feel is regret. If only I had kept my old house. If only I had not sold that piece of land. If only I had raised my children better. Now that I am old, I have nothing left but empty hands." It was painful to hear, but also so familiar, because that kind of sorrow, the kind called "if only," is something millions of people over 60 carry with them every single day. Old age is often the time people start reflecting on their lives, and that is exactly when comparison and regret start creeping in. We compare ourselves to our old classmates. One has a big house, another has successful children. We look back at decisions we made and beat ourselves up, thinking we should have done things differently. And just like that, the days pass with a growing sense of disappointment, insecurity, and remorse. But do you know something? None of us has it all. Not one. Someone with money might have lost their health. Someone who is healthy might be living in loneliness. Someone with obedient children might still lose sleep because of age-related illness. Life is a constant trade-off. The older we get, the more we need to understand that perfection is an illusion, and true happiness comes from knowing what is enough, feeling grateful, and learning to let go. From a psychological perspective, comparison is a double-edged sword. When we are young, it can push us to work harder, but when we are older, it only brings pain. Comparing in old age is like watching others climb mountains. When your knees are already tired, it does not help. It only makes you feel worse. More importantly, you cannot live someone else's life. Everyone has their own path, their own starting point, and their own destination. You do not need to have more, you just need to feel enough with what you already have. So how do you stop dwelling on the gains and losses of life? The answer is practice gratitude. Every night before you go to sleep, write down 3 things you feel grateful for that day. They can be very small: a delicious meal, a phone call from your grandchild, a morning without back pain, or a cool breeze during your walk. Science has shown that daily gratitude boosts happiness, hormones, improves sleep, and reduces the risk of depression in older adults. You can start tonight. All you need is a piece of paper, a pen, and a mindset that is ready to notice the good things around you, even the tiniest ones. Over time, you will find life becoming lighter, with fewer if-onlys, and fewer feelings of falling short. Ask yourself, what do I have right now that others might wish for? Maybe you can still walk on your own, still laugh and talk, still get calls from loved ones. Maybe you have time, something so many busy middle-aged people desperately crave. Maybe you have a beautiful memory that no one can ever take from you. And most importantly, you still have something incredibly precious, the chance to live a peaceful, joyful life in your golden years, no longer torn apart by what you have or have not gained. You just need to let go at the right time. Number 2, stop living in the past. Older people often reminisce about the past, and there is nothing wrong with that. In fact, memories are a precious part of life. They hold the moments money cannot buy: your father walking you to school, your mother sitting by the window drying her hair, your very first Lunar New Year with your grandchild. But if you live in the past every single day, the present will slip by quietly, and the future will hold nothing to look forward to. Many older folks say, back in my day, things were different, not like these kids now. Then they go on to repeat the same old stories. But the sad thing is, the younger generation does not always have the time to sit and listen to all our back in the day tales like we hope they would. Our children and grandchildren are busy, life moves fast, and sometimes sharing too many old stories actually creates distance instead of connection, though we mean well. Drowning in the past does not bring those days back. It only leaves us with regret, sorrow, and sometimes resentment toward the present. Some people cannot accept that their time has passed, that they once held power, had status, were respected, and now they are just an old man at home or a grandma watching the kids. That mindset is what makes them suffer. But you know what? Memories only have real value when they are shared as lessons, not as regrets. Tell your stories as a gift, passing on wisdom to your children and grandchildren, not as a way to make them understand who you used to be. Do not pull them backward with you. Instead, take their hand and walk forward using everything you have learned from your own life's journey. Rather than looking back with sadness, look at the present with gratitude. You still have time. You still have a chance. You still have today. One simple way to help your mind stay in the present is to write down 5 good things that happened each day. They do not have to be big. As long as they bring you joy, they count. For example, it rained lightly today and the smell of the earth reminded you of childhood. Your grandchild called to ask Grandpa, "Are you doing okay?" You made your own morning coffee without needing help. You heard an old song you still love. You went to bed without the shoulder pain you had yesterday. That is it. Just those little things. Slowly, your mind will stop drifting to the past and start enjoying the now bit by bit. Number 3, let go of resentment and lingering anger. Many people assume that old age means peace, but in reality, some of the anger, sadness, and hurt from long ago still lingers deep inside. Like faded scars, no one else can see, but that sting painfully every time they are touched. It might be something that happened 10, 20, or even 50 years ago, a hurtful comment from a loved one, a betrayal by a friend, a broken relationship that never healed. And somehow, we have held on to it. Never talked about it. Never moved on. Never forgave. But do you know something? Those quiet, buried feelings are exactly what is slowly draining your spirit day by day. There is a powerful story shared by a Zen master. One day a person came to him and said, "I am angry at someone, but I cannot let it go. I feel hurt, bitter, and tired." The master said nothing. He simply poured a cup of hot tea and handed it to the person. "Hold this," he said. So the person held the cup. 1 minute. 2 minutes. And it started to burn. But the master stayed silent. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. The hand turned red. Finally, the person could not take it anymore and let go. The cup dropped. The master then said, "You see, when it hurts enough, you will let go. No one needs to teach you. That is how life works. Resentment and anger, if you keep holding on, they will not hurt the other person. They will hurt you. The person you are mad at might have forgotten. They might be at peace. They might not even be alive anymore. But you are still carrying that pain, still living with that wound every day. Forgiving does not mean you erase the past. Forgiveness means you choose not to let the past control your present anymore. And forgiveness does not mean you have to make peace with someone. Some things may never go back to the way they were, but you can release them so your heart does not have to tighten every time you remember. A simple way to start: write a letter you will never send. Write down everything you want to say to the person who hurt you. It does not have to be pretty. It does not have to be perfect. Just let it all out. Cry if you need to. Then fold it up, put it away, or burn it. But afterward, let your heart feel a little lighter. Because forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, not because the other person deserves it. Old age is meant for living lightly, deeply, and peacefully. Do not carry invisible burdens to the end of your life. You deserve to spend your days in peace, not flinching every time an old memory surfaces. Number 4, let go of the need to control your children. There is a saying we all know: a parent worries until their dying breath. That may be true, but that does not mean it is always good. Some worries, if we hold on to them for too long, become a burden, not just on ourselves, but also on our children. Many parents, after retirement, when they have more free time and less day-to-day stress, start focusing too much on their children's lives. From what they eat, to their careers, to how they raise their own kids, to who they marry, and how they spend money. Everything becomes a concern. But the more you worry and interfere, the more strained and distant the relationship becomes. It is not that your children do not need you. It is that they need to live life their own way, not according to your expectations, your way of thinking, or your old habits. Once your children are grown, your job is not to live for them, decide for them, or worry on their behalf. It is to take a step back, observe, walk beside them, and speak up only when they ask for your voice. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means trusting that your child is mature enough, strong enough to handle their own life, and that you, after all those years of being a parent, also deserve to rest, to live lighter, freer, and happier. You can choose to live separately or live close by, but still have your own space. Spend time on yourself. Take a class you enjoy. Meet up with friends your age. Do light exercise in the morning. Take walks. Grow plants. Bake. Read books. Listen to music, or simply sit by the window and watch the sky without feeling rushed for anyone. You will see that when you live joyfully, your children feel more at ease. When you let go a little, they come back more often. When you stop trying to control everything, love flows more naturally, no longer tied down by duty or the feeling of being managed. No one is asking you to stop loving your children. But love in a way that lets them be themselves and lets you be yourself too. That is the kind of love that is wise and truly fulfilling. Number 5, do not let age define you. There is one question many people start asking themselves after 60. Is there anything I can still do? On the surface, that question seems harmless, but if you repeat it often enough, it becomes an invisible wall. Age starts becoming an excuse. An excuse not to try new things, an excuse to stop, an excuse to shrink your world down into a routine of quiet, colorless, repetitive days. But the truth is, age does not have the power to define who you are. How alive you feel matters far more than the number on your birthday. When you believe you are old, you start behaving like someone who is old, hesitant, fearful, limiting yourself to things deemed age-appropriate, even when there is still so much inside you waiting to be lived. On the other hand, if you believe you can still begin, again, still learn, still enjoy new things, You will feel vibrant, energized, and joyful, even if your hair is grey and your steps are slower than they used to be. Old age is not a dead end. It is a turning point, a time to shift from hustle to ease, from worrying to enjoying. And enjoying does not mean sitting still. It means living in a way that is true to your heart, no longer shaped by pressure expectations or others' opinions. This is the perfect time to try something you once thought was not for you too late, or you are not good enough to do. Just try one new thing each month. It does not have to be big, just something different, and you will feel life becoming colorful again. The feeling of learning something new, thinking in a new way, expanding your understanding, those things will keep your spirit young better than any medicine ever could. Because when your mind is still moving, still curious, still excited, then age does not matter anymore. In fact, it is only when you allow your spirit to grow old that everything else begins to fade. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. Just live the way you want. As long as you are waking up, seeing the sunlight and breathing every day is a new chance to start again, to do something for yourself, even if it is just a small change. Do not trap yourself in the box of older people should be like this or like that. Do not let others define who you are. And above all, do not let age, a lifeless number, make you waste the most precious years of your life. You can still live meaningfully. You can still have fun. You can still reinvent yourself if you are willing to step outside the limits you have created in your own mind. Number 6. Let go of the feeling that you are a burden. There is a quiet sadness that many older people carry deep inside, but rarely speak about the feeling of being a burden. When your children are busy, when your grandchildren are no longer constantly around, or when your health no longer allows you to do everything for yourself, it is easy to start thinking, I am just in the way. I am not useful anymore. I am dragging everyone down. And so you start closing off. Stop asking for help, stop sharing, stop speaking up. Not because you do not need care, but because you are afraid of being a bother. But that silence slowly builds a wall. It becomes loneliness. And over time, it becomes emotional pain that runs deep. If you have ever quietly thought, I am just extra in this house, please stop right there. You are not a burden. You never were. Your worth is not measured by how much you can still do, or how many people you can still help. Your worth lies in your presence as a father, a mother, a grandfather, a grandmother, a keeper of memories, a source of love, a symbol of stability in a world that is moving too fast. The things you did, your whole life caring, giving, sacrificing, none of it has been forgotten. Even if you are no longer running the household, no longer cooking every day, no longer managing everything, your wisdom, your calm presence, and even just a few quiet words from you can be the emotional anchor your family needs, something no one else can replace. Do not shut down. Do not stay silent when you need something. Do not bury your feelings just because you are afraid of being a bother. You deserve care. You deserve to be asked how you are doing. You deserve to be listened to and loved, not because of what you can do for others, but simply because you are a human being and you are still here. That alone makes you worthy. The feeling of being a burden does not come from reality. It comes from fear, from unspoken thoughts. And if you do not let it go, you will slowly lose your joy for life. So please allow yourself to be human, to have moments of weakness, to need help. No one lives forever without needing others, and no one deserves to be forgotten just because they are getting older. Old age is not the downhill part of life, it is the most profound part. A time to slow down, to be real, to live in alignment with your true self. But to get there, you must start from within by letting go of self-doubt and the belief that you are a burden. Because you never were. And you never will be as long as you are still living with your whole heart. Old age is not the end of life, it is a new chapter. one that is deeper, more reflective, and if you have the courage to let go of the things that no longer serve you, you will find your heart becoming lighter, your days feeling brighter, and life itself becoming more precious than ever. Happiness does not come from how much you manage to hold on to. It comes from your willingness to release the things that weigh you down. And in that letting go, you will rediscover freedom in your mind, peace in your heart, and joy in every breath you take. Live each day fully, not to accomplish something grand, but to live gently, meaningfully, and true to who you are. Now I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What is one thing you are ready to let go of today to live more peacefully? And if this video spoke to your heart, do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with the people you care about. Together, let us build a community where we age with grace, depth, and joy, so that no one has to walk this journey alone.